Well, I'm saying I share Badwam Jumedi wa Adom TV. My mama watch me na wase bebre so watch me try ho aba me ni Kwesi Asempa. Tinemu ama oman hene Kwabena Asante. Emphasis na kese ma Hepa Plus Mr. Franco Trading Enterprise, St. Andrews Ultimate Remedial, St. Andrews Healthcare College, and a CD Herbal. I want to say the Hepa Plus, ya de Mpensenpensemu Jumedi de bro. Ya to aso da nesa biga fwat na se from the camp of the MPP, Honorable Obi Amwa, Deputy Minister in charge of decentralization, local government, rural development. Honorable Mewakwaba Bibia Boko, the Member of Parliament, Equiapem South. Honorable Constituency Boko, Mrashe Badwam Boko. Right.
Boko.
I mean, you na check akra.
So the be mission. We were for the past 2 weeks, I'll be moving around Kakra.
Okay.
With my minister and other colleagues.
Okay.
We zoned the country into 4. We were meeting the MDCs.
Okay.
So we are Eastern, Central, Western, and Siamo Cape Coast.
Okay.
And then Ashanti, Bono, Ahafo, near Siamo Sinyane.
Okay.
Then we move up, Tamale near Shia, those up there.
Okay.
Yaba, who, Oti, Volta, Greater. So that's the kind of work we've been doing for some weeks now.
But so far, Juba Mobone so any.
Oh, there's still work to do and room for improvement. Because we are fair no haba. We should not pretend to say overnight, he will know the job. You have to insist and push them to even read and read and read. Okay. Because Local Governance Act, for instance, is supposed to be your daily guide. You can't go to the office without looking through your Local Governance Act. A lot of issues come up, so no, I be paying. And he knows what it is.
Right, I'm saying for Honorable Obi Amwa, Member of Parliament, the Kwesi constituency on Deputy Minister, Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Artenica. George Pariado, the National Youth Organizer, NDC, Pablo Mimakwaba Boko there.
Yeah, Adom.
I hope the NDC money Koye.
NDC de Bibia Koye. Yeah, inside the Bibia Boko. Akaze Omaino. Sabi Oshobe
one side say you
that's what I can side there.
And I'm saying Akase Abaino ebe ye na dwuma te sa abai. Na baby a study ne dollar na akeka kodu. Omo to na mo ebe boa. Na you can't plan anything.
But no bisa say mo side na ye youth na say.
Baby the whole NDC is in good hands.
Oh, okay.
For so ample for say don't get here John Mama omo crap party.
Omo contest who should be chairman. One side now.
Who
for example for our mosquito.
Obi abe country.
But they declare I know for example for our.
Obi abe country nchire o. The national chairman is Honorable Samuel Ofosuampo. The general secretary.
Okay. For now.
You know, as it stands now, Obian country will be contested. What we know is that they are doing a good job. They
should stay where they are.
Next week, you're right into Asante region.
They should stay where they are.
Next week, you're right into Asante region. Near Kwesi region. If you go so, yeah, Juma as a party. Yeah, I can say. Honorable Obi Amwa.
Oh, they share topics that.
Local government minister. I'm making sure the common fund never come. Now, I'm with me here, Juma.
Honorable common fund then on the hard. But you're starting from
former DC, former DC, now minister for local government, they come fund.
And I think now also.
Common fund then on the hard. At least what boss in the NTV hotel. Come on,
what's that the car? Yeah, the cat. Oh,
Papa, I'm more share or Martin, the NTV hotel. Come on, find another internet.
I'm so much.
Come on, Akabi. And the other fans, yeah, they call. And you know, as somebody can say, that Orinsivu Skabia in recent times. For instance,
no, but we are specific on common.
For instance, about 2017. Now I don't find D part for it. We have to pay $20 million as our counterpart funding for the donor.
DBF. No?
Yes, for the donor.
And then I'll say Jai.
No, they're Jai.
Oh,
because of a year, Muntia.
Oh, that's not true.
Into we've paid 20. It's on record. We have to pay $20 million for our donor partners to also bring their share of the fund. The DDF, he's been part of it before. Apart from common fund, other funds with their consistent, you are assessed at the district level with all the indicators. Once you go through, they will transfer the money. For the common fund, some quarters are in arrears. Minister of Finance, in charge. As soon as they transfer those quotas, the Common Fund Administrator will use the formula approved by Parliament to distribute.
And as it stands now, until the benefit, at least.
Well, what we can only depend on the assurance from the Minister of Finance.
But money needing it.
Yes, I mean, for instance, Abna, who is in Parliament in charge of that, almost every day she comes to Parliament. It's an issue that we raise. That is how come, even last week, the minority side also raised that issue. And she responded. So we are expecting, say, as soon as possible, if they install the controller, so Sika will put it in the accounts of the Common Fund, the administrator will then apply the formula and send the money.
Okay, great. Mate, Honorable Member was say, Pablo, just a quick one on the Common Fund. At least YMC. How does it affect development?
It affects the
question, the leading question.
Honorable Obiawa can say other funds are it is not fair to the districts. Every other fund, for instance, DDF, it is based on an assessment. If you don't pass, you don't pass. DDF. The Common Fund, it is the constitutional funder. Constitutional city as I say, 5% of total revenue.
Not less than 5%.
5% of total revenue. Agana ajijina, and the key word here is total revenue. Ajijina, and I say the district assemblies for developments. About we buy the first attempt on here is total revenue can no more better so. People have to go to court. Oh, honorable. Then okay.
Yeah,
people have to go to court because of the campaign. Can you write about the campaign? Say a certain amount being a beko. So they have to even go to court to enforce it. Constitution. Honorable in country is how many quotas and a Common Fund away in arrest? Usually the Common Fund is always in arrest one quota. And I'm saying how many quotas? And away in arrest.
How many quotas now on him?
3.
Honorable, is that the case?
I'm not sure what. 3 is almost a year.
Honorable, is that the case?
Yeah, entirely accurate. Go apart.
What's it 3 quotas?
Entirely accurate.
The Deputy Minister for Local Government.
Because Common Fund, honorable, and one development.
They
say the Deputy Minister of Local Government on national television. It me admit it and can't try.
No,
how many
quotas? Or say it is not entirely correct.
I am sitting here as a former MC of a Krapim North. Saying, sir, saying, sir, the Common Fund is in arrest 3 quarters, almost 1 year. You March, no more me and Frank 1 year.
So 3 quarters.
Meanwhile, the law is that every quarter, usually the quarter is calculated a quarter in arrears.
That's what the law.
So at the
end of the
3 quarters. Must be for Common Fund. What it simply means is that no activity is going on at the district level. All the other funds are
which is what I'm saying is not
the other funds are health insurance. They from districts, they are allocated to MPs. But health insurance, it goes to the MPs. The MPs decide how to utilize the fund. I'm an authority of local governance.
Authority.
Over 8 years, I come to school, I masters.
Authority.
Now, if after this I'm not an authority, it'll be about 2 years craft any authority.
Practically,
Ghana food.
Oh, the money is paid to the district, but the MP that administers it and decides how he wants to utilize it.
Administers it in what way?
That's all troll letter. But say, it is not the district that decides what the fund.
Apply.
All right, you apply.
You apply for the fund. It's written in the name of the
district. But it is the MP that decides. It's just like MP's Common Fund.
Common Fund. What is it?
Okay.
All protected. For instance, MP's Common Fund there. It comes to the district, but it is the MP that decides how you utilize the funds. So that's it. Then DDF, District Development Fund, it comes when you have passed an assessment and you'll be an Inebi. And it is not true So Honorable Choka say, yeah, time DDF Jai.
Oh, it's true.
The last projects are awarded.
And I can
in
produce
2016 were DDF projects.
And I can produce evidence.
Okay.
So we paid $20 million.
But every year,
Honorable Pablo, that was introductory. Honorable, come on, find there was some money because had
the e-levy. The e-levy buyer.
Pablo, Honorable,
who do that pay? Because I don't point the body.
And as well, Honorable, and right to say the first deputy speaker, dismiss a motion, but your motion there.
You mean that's it. So, with the introduction of private members' motion, I bear common say, other people no na more or less speaker admitted some of these motions we also have stayed on the other paper for a long time, and one of such motions what was submitted by some members of the minority side regarding COVID, and the motion motion number 21.
That is the other paper now. What kind of
other paper?
Okay, right.
No other paper.
Okay.
Motion number 21. We come out TNU and so
sure
discussion in crisis that this honorable house constitutes a bipartisan parliamentary committee chaired by a member of the minority caucus to inquire into the expenditure made by Ghana government in relation to COVID-19 since the outbreak of the pandemic in 2020. Titiati say, improve Ghana government our COVID-19 expenditure. But I was here chair our parliament. Speaker, after all these months, and now also admitted motions, it should be moved. So the motion was moved initially. Now, Markin was bringing the attention of the speaker. Said he has preliminary objection. The speaker can say move motion now, even in second day. To move motion in second day, the long or short of it is said, no man, no my imagine that. Hey, what this car, you prove near chair, you be sure some more discuss speculations, allegations, like account. And side, I feel you mark me born about Asempa. He did very well. I was in Parliament yesterday now. We share so deliver now. So Ghana has future. Everybody saying Gokrani boy and Chibiana. So Gokrani and Mufrani here. He did very well. And all that he said was on point. In the first place, Sabi, COVID expenditure, it came under various ministries. So our ministries in our answer committees of parliament, as our committees in the exercise oversight responsibility. That's number one. Number two, the Constitution has provided for an Auditor General and the work of an Auditor General. And if you permit me, if you start from Article 187
of the Constitution.
Of the Constitution, it goes on and on about what the Auditor General should do to the extent that he has 6 months to submit accounts of the previous year. Now, Parliament has set up a committee to go into the audited accounts of the whole country. Not only say government as government per se, but every institution which uses government money. 80 Parliament, in its wisdom, at committee, Public Accounts Committee, I know minority member and a chair. But just what I say. So the argument was, yes, the Auditor General should have access to all books, records, returns, and other documents relating or relevant to these accounts. Are you saying, say, Auditor General, according to you, COVID-19, Ibiduma discanti. My account of floors, Ibiduma discanti. Enyama na monko na no prove say Ibiduma disca. And he also say, my Auditor General in the human. When the human we know the audited accounts no better to her. A binding on everybody. A constitutional imperative. No one find the findings in Mra. Now, Speaker, I refer my Public Accounts Committee. My Public Accounts Committee find a report to Mra. They have every right to invite everybody to come and defend the report of the Auditor General or to come and respond to the reports. Now, I'm from public accounts informal report, as it's done. Then in debate, then we move the way forward. As simple as that. Otherwise, still, otherwise, the president will say, and it's not the first time I say, I'm going to say, a bipartisan committee, and yeah, where appointments committee. Last time, started President Akufo-Addo first appointments. Now, and everyone can say, I may be a seeker. Parliament agreed for a special committee to set up, to be set up to integrate this matter. I'm your chairman. Then cash, the famous cash for seats. Yeah,
cash for seats.
And also Parliament agreed. In the same vein, everyone can say, Abacha President Rawlings $5 million. The issue was raised in Parliament, but the Speaker rejected it and said, we cannot have any such committee. The issue yesterday was, Auditor General, no, the functions weighing in. What is so special as a proof a committee should be set up, led by the minority side. My biased already. So, when we have a constitutional body.
Yeah, I was so yeah.
I'm man who can say
yes. Auditor General, no, yes. The auditor accounts for the financial year.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Okay. You started spending COVID scan year ben.
COVID started March 2020. COVID started year.
And you know, not just say year financial year back where we.
Yeah.
And you ever say March 2021.
Yeah.
A financial year.
No, financial year it will end December 2020. Until by middle of 2021.
Yes.
At most, there should be audited accounts.
Okay. As at now, Mebacho, do we have audited accounts on COVID expenditure?
I need to check. But if you don't have no. Now I'm 15 years ground for this. What I'm saying,
we are special. We are talking about COVID.
No.
So the
and I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yeah, me too.
Say for any reason, that's why I say I need to check. If for any reason, say 2020 audited accounts, Auditor General on farmer parliament, it doesn't mean say on farmer the committee.
No, but honorable.
It doesn't mean that so if he brings the report.
One so
if he brings, he has to bring the report.
Made 2021. Yes. There was a Obia anything, especially minority in parliament.
Yes. And I'm saying this same minority.
Yeah.
I passed 2 budgets since COVID came. This same minority. All the COVID accounts will be a core committees. Say education, say helpful, say local government too. But is spending COVID it came before the committees.
But more specific expenditure.
Specific
for the year, for the financial year.
Specific saying.
I'm spending.
Say finance committee. Say more share, more reporter. Near Minister of Finance, they share budget in about COVID. It will be before you. Say, yeah, 2021 budget, I 2022 budget. It came before you. You brought your report. We all debated it and we passed it.
Okay, Honorable. And more any idea auditor?
It's not for us to respond. Auditor General either the Constitution is independent.
Yes, but
the last interrogate the Auditor General time and the report over. As far as we are concerned, there for 2022, and due for 2021. And here due because 2021 he has up to middle of 2022 to submit it.
No, but we are talking about
for 2022. Now I'm sitting here.
Yeah, sure. 2020.
I must admit that sitting here.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he has submitted it.
But you should be worried because
worried is saying
maybe Sana and Crawford speculating and what discover.
No. I did 12 billion from 2016. Okay. 2 billion accumulated to that.
Okay.
Well, before I can't there, we are the ones who should set the record straight. What I'm saying is, I don't want to say, or the 2021 about me here. That one there. Auditor accounts, maybe could be a big. I must be sure, which of the accounts has he submitted. He can even do special accounts on COVID. They do it. Sometimes, apart from all the accounts, Auditor General can decide, we audit only the accounts on COVID, and I will submit it to Parliament. And it's allowed.
Okay, and the first deputy speaker or dismiss here, not the ruling here then.
The ruling is if there's an auditor general who is required to do this same job, and he has to bring it and to be referred to Public Accounts Committee. The money mean that you're going to from the Public Accounts Committee near interrogate.
Okay, the Honorable, are we saying say even up till 2024, now say Auditor General expenditure on COVID and farm by more train because or independence? Is that the case?
No, you should understand the system of governance.
Okay.
What you say?
Understand
the system of governance. Your man mandate says submit your report by this time. If you don't submit it, you finger on the rules.
Okay.
What you say? Don't lump us with the Auditor General. Only independent. Only don't find report to me. No be interrogated.
Okay.
If you inform Maya, then let's ask him. Say, stand by now, But I'm saying, say annual accounts no here there. For the past year, they are swing. But previous year, no, say delay. Then we expect him to bring it.
Okay, but Honorable, say let us ask him. Who is supposed to ask him?
Everybody, including those of us in Parliament.
Okay, right. But Honorable Obiamoa and Motene, member of Parliament for Equiapim South Constituency, Deputy Minister, Local Government, Decentralization, Rural Development, Pablo, my member also, National Youth Organizer, NDC. Well, into Honorable Amancho Chimu.
Asempa, it is worrying the posturing of Honorable Obiamoa and the NPP, and I'll tell you why. Sure, we pay e-levy in Ghana for her. One of the reasons why Ghanaians are against paying any more money, and they say
some Ghanaians.
All the polls that have been conducted,
no, some
over
Ghanaians.
80%.
Oh, our polls now, yeah.
Many polls. I don't want to mention, but CTFM, other various media
80%.
on social media have run polls. Ghana Web Arani over 80%. They be crying 91% against the passage of the e-levy. Wouldn't be in here. Saka ye J2 near the your mind area, can nobody has issues with it. But ye J2 na ye who the 2 na is where people have challenges. So a posture like this.
Who says they that's why you have Auditor General. And you Auditor General reports that who says propaganda?
It is what is leading to resistance now. You see in Chai 11, no. But Tini Pabi Bromoga say, and one be quite the no Mumbai and Kebingu Mubi. In 2020, I say this on authority, say one of the reasons why we pushy the then Auditor General out because he was calling to audit COVID for a
no, because we pushing it out. I mean,
he was pushed out.
There was a process into the
He was pushed out. Everybody in this country himself, Dom Levlo was pushed out.
Okay.
Obieni.
So
because one coach through, he was forced to go and leave. Obani has the keys. Obama the president said, "Ojana Juma to one." When the president, or Auditor General independent, when the president interferes with the work of the Auditor General, how independent is he? So yours, Dom Levlo was pushed out. One of the reasons why was because he had started calling for an audit of COVID funds. Right? You need to come on more. You who send ya COVID tika nyafu. Ewe. We saw how people's fortunes turned overnight because of COVID funds. And 2 years after COVID, in 2020 now, Mama have free water, free electricity now. And I had this one, I'm Ghana this year. No. 2 years down the line, one report from the Auditor General on COVID ain't making the way to Parliament. One. The financial year, on his own admission, and I know him, senior lawyer. On his own admission, that's the law. The financial year ends.
Admission.
That's the law. That is the law. But what admitted say, you boom brand so. The financial year ended in December 2020.
Yeah.
Year 2021. You who audited accounts. You March when you baby you and then 23rd, say 24th. And then they said
32nd or something.
And then 23rd.
Yeah.
After 5 days, not February, and the near March. You who COVID funds accounts. You nimsika here, Mokoji fee IMF, the World Bank. Ama, there's even speculations about amount of World Bank, IMF, the money, any here declare Ukrumano. Say no. That statement is out there. It is only the audited reports and the best setting such matters to rest. and then you refuse to ask the Auditor General to do his job.
You refuse because the Auditor General is independent.
If a member of parliament and a deputy minister from the executive and the legislature, Auditor General the report number, then you should be worried because you know why? So I was saying,
don't make it personal.
if
a deputy minister is sitting here, no name say don't make it personal.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Okay,
Obi, I'm sorry about that.
I apologize.
I've checked on the side.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But you see, if me buy, not say Ghana for the some more bomb say ya bokro ya COVID sika, ya di COVID sika nyafo. I will be the first person, to push the Auditor General to bring his report before.
No, but you can't push the Auditor General because you're independent. You can only appeal to the Auditor General. Auditor General, based on X, Y,
Asempa.
No, we can't push.
Asempa, after 2020, 2021,
push it.
The Constitution mandates, and he knows as a lawyer. The Auditor General must be forced to bring his report.
Anybody can raise it.
So if the government now, the allegations they bomb fine.
Pablo, just a quick one. Lawyer Obiamwa, me pacho say Auditor General and submitted a report per time I was all submitted. Then I'm running a found.
In the first place, a manager said when Dini also so. Then every person, individual is entitled to ensure that the constitution
individual, including those in government, individual, including ministers,
including members of parliament,
including members of parliament.
I don't.
We are member of parliament.
Of course, I have every right in parliament to say, I'm raising the issue.
Yes.
Or submitting
and how say we can?
Why have they not taken that first?
And how say we
He's made certain comments which are very unfortunate. What he wants to say is Auditor General back no few here for buy no. On what said that buneni egusu say unfair council. Okay. It's very unfair.
Okay. Pablo, it's
very unfair. Don't make such comments on national television.
If after almost 2 years, because we are in 2022, we ended in 2020. If after almost 2 years, accounts are in G2 say, and never be said you inquire, your first chair, the other name, Sabi Nipa Bible, but Ambaso.
I don't think that. I don't think
and the Nimuzu say the funds were misapplied. The only way
you are only guessing. You don't know that for a fact.
I am entitled to my opinion.
Yes, but who make an emphatic statement?
The only way you prove me wrong. The only way I'll be proving me wrong.
The topic we are discussing. That's not what he is
discussing. The only way you prove me wrong.
The topic we are discussing. That's not what he is discussing.
I'm still on COVID expenditure.
No, I'm going to say 10 minutes already.
The
topic is
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Thank you, man.
The only way you prove me wrong
is to speculate.
And they say, "Obe catcher me say accounts in here."
So accounts there, remember?
Me will be here. Remember, I'm coming. After 2 years,
I'm saying it's a budget about
I will continue to speculate on the issue of say deputy speaker. A dismissal motion, you know, it is much unfortunate and it leaves much to be desired. And I'll tell you why. The deputy speaker. Mind you, the moment you assume the role of speaker, you are not in any party's interest. You are there to represent the interest of Ghana for. Ghanaians want to know, and there is nothing wrong. Parliament has an oversight. The Parliament is the master of his own rules and procedures. You know why they make that statement? Because, and yet, when Parliament decides to do, once it does not contravene the Constitution, they can do anything. Where there is proper parliamentary democracy.
Now, Pablo, let's be speaker on my reasons.
Okay. Yeah. Parliament has a duty to do anything once it doesn't contravene the Constitution. When private members demand for a bipartisan investigation or audit into COVID expenditure, it does not contravene the Constitution in any way. So it is wrong on the part of the deputy speaker.
No, it doesn't contravene, but provisions so
What provisions?
But can reasons on my end. I'm making reference
to Auditor General.
Yes.
But the Auditor General is sleeping on his job as it stands today because the report 2 years old is not before
the other minority. I'm moving motion among can say Auditor General. As I now far reporting by we demand the report.
Are you saying? Is he saying Honorable Obiama Catherine? In the last 1 year, the minority has not called for the report of the audit committee on COVID before Parliament.
Honorable, Baby Saba.
It is not true.
No, when?
It is not true.
But Pablo, do you know that for a fact? When? Last year when? Honorable Bachameba. When? Last year. Yeah.
Minority called for the audited reports on COVID.
Which month?
I cannot be specific with the month. But it has been in the news. So you cannot sit here and pretend that you don't know this. And you can do as Asempa, in our favor by checking with Parliament.
May check it, don't worry.
They have gone to ask for the report. So if after 1 year reports number before the House, and these are issues, so Ghanaians are concerned about COVID expenditure. So if Auditor General in here in Ejuma, there is nothing wrong, Asempa. Absolutely nothing wrong. Yes, but about any time a bipartisan committee is constituted in Parliament, there are other constitutional bodies that are supposed to do that job. Yet committees are constituted. What is not true?
It's not true.
Committee there.
It's not true.
Every group,
Honorable, who mentioned cash for seat? Was there any constitutional body and KBTMIS?
Of course, yes.
Other than bipartisan, maybe so honorable. Was there any?
What the standing orders of Parliament say? They say. Apart from all committees, you need to have an ad hoc committee.
Yes.
If
we think there is no committee responsible for that thing.
Okay.
In the case of appointments committee,
no, cash for seat was not by appointment. Okay, appointments.
Yes,
appointment. In the case of appointment committee, I see nominated ministers in the we set up a bipartisan committee because we didn't have a committee, a specific committee to look at it. But if it comes to COVID, there's a health committee.
No, not specific committee. The cash for seats. There was an institution in this country called the police institution.
Okay, information I mean, on the 29th of September 2020, minority demanded for the audited report.
Too many times. Of COVID accounts. Too many times.
What I'm saying.
Too many times.
What I was saying is,
no, maybe what's it there?
What I'm saying is, in Parliament, if you say you ask, let's say an urgent question.
Yeah.
Say, I'm a free auditor general. Now be a minister with a better answer, and a speaker say, "Yama will be answer." That one is official. What I say. Number two, depending on what you want, if a committee can ask that any institution that they have oversight, should come forward to answer questions. Those are the ones. Yes, we pay a year or so. We call for the general to bring a report. That one, I may not even be aware. And that one, it's not official. I'm telling you about the official situation when you call for a report to be made.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So it is not true that the minority has not called for the Auditor General to bring his report before Parliament.
How did you call it? How did you call it?
Honorable.
Is it coming to sit here, Pablo, and say that Auditor General should bring a report?
There is no propaganda to this. We are calling for accountability of our money.
Okay.
I know what I say. Because there is speculation that IMF was a World Bank, two different figures were quoted.
Right.
The only way you as a government can put this matter to rest, not the crowded, and they say a report will be put out by the Auditor General.
Of course.
Okay.
In the sense of that, when we call for a bipartisan approach to dealing with this issue, there is nothing wrong.
We will not let you preempt the Auditor General.
Commercial break. Adom TV, Badwam, Mpensenpensemu, in January 2020, a committee to investigate the depreciation of the cedi. Kwesi saying, committee na Juma Ben Omutimi are still, you want a cedi to dollar rate, enkoye. right, I see now I see me see try and about Adom TV, Badwam Mpensenpensemu. The Kwesi Asempa, my guest, Honorable Obiamo, Deputy Minister, Local Government, Decentralization, Rural Development, and our face, George Opariado, the National Youth Organizer, Emma NDC. And to quickly, you move on from Parliament, and after you call the CD depreciation. Honorable, my member also, I recall, say, in January 2020, form a committee, Imani Ghana, Franklin Kujokra, no count, Honorable Free Yakoto, no count, together with, prominent Ghanaians. To investigate the depreciation of the city. Reports when on the brain master city in the one.
I would just be also he is playing a devil's advocate. You say on the devil nankasa. I understand you are playing a devil's advocate. This one I checked several stories, including stories from multimedia. The city had been performing very well. For the whole of 2021, I'm saying depreciation by 2.something%. I have all the records here. Before then, so I be in time, see the general 18%, 20%. They be also announce so stringent measures. Who consists sky say, who can sky say, because no one do manage city. No. We have managed the city very well. This year, I can say
at the time I end this year, if you buy Mona city to dollars.
$50 to up to 5 point something.
3.9.
Yeah,
check your records.
So 3.9.
Check your
and
records.
now,
please.
CD to dollar is almost 7 cities.
Yes.
I'm managing, no.
I'm managing very well for this number of years. They are managing very well because for one more year, number of years, as I said, the way I see the now you need to be a bit more accurate.
But 2 cities, not 2 cities.
As this year, as we even speak, as 4%. By your own reports, multimedia. The records are here. I can show you
4% of what?
Of depreciation of the city. Beginning of the year. I almost say.
The rate of depreciation. Now let's use the figures itself.
It's the same thing.
It's
the same thing.
At the time, Obifia Ben, which was 3.9.
Yes.
Then you told us to say the fundamentals are weak. It will expose you.
Yes.
And mobile, you have the men. Now it's almost 7 cities.
It is 7 cities.
But my joy online, CD depreciates by 2.6% to dollar in almost 11 months. One report to me report. I'm saying, do the shah say, CD, this is what we need to interrogate. Into say, CD 5.8, now it costs 6, now it costs 6.5. Obiaga say CD value no conform. But we are talking about the quantum, the appreciation level, the percentage. Timisra say in absolute terms, so in percentage terms, so I'm saying say in MPP's time, CD has been managed far better than the NDC's time, and the records are there to show. And because the other aspect is to say, even though we are not in normal times, sometimes at the beginning of the year, activities at the beginning of the year also affect the city. And if you manage your things well, some activities are cost and by the end of the first quarter, they start to reduce. Because you manage your things well, no man stabilize it. It me anytime you see the do 5 was Asantiaco. Based on how we are managing it. I mean, because on record with the management of CD Asempa. Go to me to how much city depreciation 18%. 18%, what the absolute terms are. It's the same thing. The city no 3. Now we depreciate about 4 within a short period. Just what managing it. I'm saying is that we have to admit it, say, I fear I shall say, city na holding aquaform. Factors, baby. Times a woman a cajon. Say, Uncle Fonya Munkakra, person crano man, it will affect the city. Say, a finasu, our mom make sika, also transfer Sikano Kono, it will affect the city. But just what you say, business be brewaha, sabi omunki pu musika waha. And just for example's sake, MTN. If MTN makes all his money at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, he decides to transfer some of the money outside to his parent company, to other companies. They will not transfer CDs.
But then you more breast open away cost.
Of course. And I'm say I'm managing it, you know. I'm better say
managing 2% now what 7 cities. Is that the better management?
It's far better.
Far better. At 2%.
Yes.
Depreciation now was 7 cities.
Far better.
Far better.
Far better. If you look at the number of months that we have run this country, even in spite of COVID, it's far better than what they did. No. Because almost figures it was and they put in measures which didn't even work. What I say, and I'm saying, of course, for record purposes, better management in compare. And I'm saying, we are not saying, even it's in mediocrity and we are comparing. We are not comparing mediocrity with them. We are comparing, saying, yet man managing it better.
Okay, but
if the beginning of the year, if these are the issues,
I recall say Oman Peniku 4 times. Oman formed a committee to investigate the depreciation of the cemetery. But at the end of the day, 1:1, a buy, a bedu.
Of course,
now, mobile, ma arrested, mo the key na ma IGP, ma ye the MBA now form a committee of eminent Ghanaians. But still.
So the city shouldn't depreciate at all.
No, but what we are saying is that
I'm saying is
what beyond that, in opposition, say you have the men, you can change it overnight.
Okay.
Until now, at least Ghana for the one name say 1:1 now you who your man Peniku for abreast.
Okay.
Mobana 4:4. Yes.
Okay.
But it's not the case.
The first place, where we said we had the men, we have proven we have come to do far better than them. That's number one. Number two, in these circumstances, major countries, I'm not even referring to African countries, major countries across the world, their currencies have suffered. Whether it's China, whether it's US, whether it's UK, whether it's Germany, whether it's an European country, major countries, by this pandemic, their currencies have suffered. It's not in isolation, that's number one. Number two, I'm saying that even in this isolation, the whole of 2021, 2.6%.
Okay.
That is the record I'm putting down.
Pablo Bremame.
I can understand Mebrape Obiamwa and the difficulty he has as
in your estimation,
an MP and then a minister trying to defend government. Those explanations don't matter to her. In 2017, 7th January 2017, that cedi to dollar was 3.9. 4.2. Granted. But they ain't granting even at 4.2. I insist it was 3.9. I was there 4.2. Granted. 4.2. No problem. In 7th January 2009, that cedi to the dollar was 1.9, almost 2 cedis. And your Baba inherited here. Between the 8 years, the cedi moved from 2.0 and now 2 cedis to 4.2. 2 cedi, 20 pesos.
What's the percentage?
Remember, today, I am coming to that. Today, in 5 years, 8-year period, 2 cedi, 20 pesos. In 5 years, from 4.2 to 7 cedis.
It's not 7 cedis.
The cedi is 7 cedis.
It's not 7 cedis.
So do the calculation.
The 2 cedi 80, that's 1 cedi 80 pesos.
So remember, in 5 years,
What's that?
7 cedis. So 4.2. That's the 4.2.
Cedi depreciation. You lose. So I heard the facts and figures. It shows cedi depreciation there. Yeah, they are still
2.8. In 5 years, 2 cedi 80 pesos na ba bedaso. Yeah, in 8 years. 2 cedi, 20 pesos na bedas.
You by your calculation, you're wrong.
You don't need rocket science to tell you. You don't need rocket science to tell you, sir, the city performed better under the NDC than the NPP. And I'll tell you something for free. I have always maintained, sir, the only reason why NPP before journey away from IMF, any World Bank, they say, they are manufacturing figures that only say when third parties come in, they'll be exposed. The fundamentals of the economy. When the city, when your exchange rates will expose you, the fundamentals of the day he made that statement. And when the city started depreciating, another opportunity. Or say that it doesn't mean, sir, when your exchange rate is going up, the fundamentals are weak. Meaning, whether we like it or yes, our fundamentals are weak. If in 5 years, when the 2.2 cedi 80 pesos account, no be in 8 years, 2 cedi 20 pesos. Who has done well? We're basic, simple. You don't need an economist to come and explain this to you. As it stands today, CD no from 2017, ABCN 2 CD 80 pesos na babeka from 2009 to 2017. If you are no 2 CD 20 pesos na babeka. It's simple as ABCD. So you can choose to do.
But say, oh no.
But that is the truth. That is the truth. You can choose to make all the noise about it, but this is reality. So when you sit back and you tell us, you've managed it better, no problem. Kokaisi, Komakola, Nakoka trader, and say, we're managing it better. Because at the end of the day, he needs more cities.
Okay.
To go and buy more dollars. And Asempa, some argument of, and yeah, transfer Sikako. Is this the first time every year the MTF won't transfer profits?
No, but I admit it, sir.
So it is a non-starter.
Okay, great.
It is a non-starter.
But it's one of the factors. But it's one of the factors. It's one of the. It's one of the. But the only challenge is the only challenge is Pablo. The only challenge is yes, setting up a committee to investigate.
Competent men.
And the report. So much competence. Report via me country Ghana for say. Reasons Emma Sydney depreciating.
Reasons
politics here is you.
120K. For what?
120K and Cassidy depreciate.
I believe in figures.
Yeah.
The poem post argument data and you see use data. Yes, so we work on and I
calling for the committee's report.
As I sit here, I don't know internally whether they've submitted it. As I sit here, I don't know whether they've submitted it. How do I interrogate
it? Let's move on. Now, finally, Mpensenpensemu. Yeah, we still, Parliament. So, colleague, Honorable Sarah Adwoasafo, what's happening?
Honorable Adwoasafo. The bar parliament, the call recess, the Asempa in whom you build. You know, I can say, only Kromha. Only Kromha, you believe so, Abroche. Abroche, they know you, believe so, San Hoyare. In Tiadena, Oma, you believe so, all can be sa permission and records no and a chair. In fact, there be a parliament you votes and proceedings. In the over parliament, you have votes and proceedings, maybe they would absent. Oh, sorry, Mr. Speaker. No, I'm how. In the table office, or more correct, say, you know. Now, when you be free absent, and call those present. In the same way, no, you're always to be so absent without permission. What you share one. Also, fill a form be just on your permission. And you two boy in a bit me way. What you say? Two boy, a question constituency. This will also be Rashi Bantam. But I saw Parliament upon. Okay. In that case, I'll be marked upset without permission.
Okay, but I'm just for the any actual one.
Yeah, just for the no. Or call on my.
Until absent with permission.
So as far as I look at votes and proceedings, no. So without permission or mature, with permission is mature.
Until the end of
he's not vetted his mind to it.
Okay, Pablo, but quickly. You have 30 seconds. Pablo, quickly, but 30 seconds.
I am interested in the 120K now, Kennedy. Japan say it's your man, as a citizen of Ghana. I am also interested in the private jet. You go for Adwoasafo some brand.
Private jet, they go far.
The private jet was sent.
Private
I am not the one saying this. I am calling for an investigation into the statements made by Honorable Kennedy Japan. As a citizen of Ghana, $120,000 was a pound.
But I was expecting that Modoba party and at least maybe Bisana said much what is doing. Well, I was saying, I was even yourself, Big Mpensenpensemu. I'm passing up my Georgia Pariado, National Youth Organizer, NBC. Honorable Obi Amwa, Medini Kwesi Asempa, Metremo, and more mine, Kwabena Sante. Good morning.